If you like this video and want to see more, be sure to click on the subscribe button, then click on the settings button, check it off, and then click on save. Thank you.
Hey, look what we got back here.
Oh, the Volkswagen.
Mr. VR6. Hey, I think this is going to be an easy one. I hope so. We got a headlight that's out on the low beam, and it's on the driver's side, so let's take a look and see what it is. I think it's going to be just a bulb. But let me just show you what we got. As you can see, we have the high head beams, and there's the low. So we have a low beam out on the driver's side. Well, obviously it wants us to take these two screws out, maybe even more. We've got the headlight symbol here. You can see how crowded this thing is. Now this thing is supposed to be a hinge here and it just snaps on. This thing was already broke when we bought the car. Okay. Alright. First thing I guess I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these two Phillips screws. Let's see what that gets us. Number one, number two. Now let's take this here cover and let's slide him straight up.
Oh, cool.
Okay, he don't want to come up.
Oh,
there he goes. Now if we look down in there, you can see how tight it is. So Volkswagen said, now we can't make this easy. We need to let them guys take this battery out. I think that's what we're going to have to do. Alright, so let me work on that. Let's disconnect this DC negative cable here. 10 millimeter. Should take care of that. Let's throw him down there. Now let's do the positive side. Okay. Now as we can see, this here positive side of this cable is attached to this cover by this fastener right down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle nose pliers. I'm going to come in on the back side. I'm going to squeeze it. I'm going to just pull it right out. Now let's see if we can get this cover out of the way. There we go. Alright. Now you know, see, here's where we got to get access to this bulb. We got to get this bail, we'll push it back, and then there's another bail down here, but it's still a little tight, as you can see, to get my hand down in there, so it's still like right back to our original assumption that we're going to have to take this friggin' battery out. Now if we look down in here, we can see there's a bolt right here. It's got a hold down bracket that's holding the battery down. I do believe that looks like a 13 millimeter, so I'm going to be getting set up for the 13 millimeter socket and ratchet, and we'll be taking that bolt out. Okay. See if we can get that joker out of there. Wow. They don't even want us to get our hand down in there.
there you go.
Okay. And there's our strap. Goes on just like that, along with Mr. Bolt. Now, let's take the battery out of there. Look at here, guys. See? I can stick my whole hand in here now. Okay. This here connector pulled back. Now this should be a catch, but you see somebody has broke this thing off. Yeah. Yes, it was me. No, it was not. This thing was broke when we bought the car, so just pull that off. And now we have these little bails. Slide him over. Let's slide him over. Oh, looky in there. Oh, look at there.
Ooh.
And now we have this little collar down here that we'll spin around. Let's see if we can pull him out. And let's see what we got. We have a bulb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, looking at the filaments, just looking at them, I mean, they look okay. Alright. Try not to get anything, guys, on this bulb here. Okay. Okay, guys, I got a piece of paper towel around here just so my hand won't be touching this here halogen bulb. As you may know, you don't want to get the oil from your hand or any kind of contaminants on this thing. And I'm trying to get this freaking connector off of this thing. Okay. Aha.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, it's burnt.
I see, it's burnt.
Yeah.
That could be an issue right there. Now guys, I'm just doing a continuity check here. 0.6. That's about 1. And it looks like, yep, another 1. It looks like the bulb is okay. Both of the filaments are fine. Of course, we knew the high beam was okay. And you see, guys, you see how this contact in here is, it looks pretty burnt. I got a pick here, just kind of scraping across it. The ideal thing is just to replace this here contact terminal, or better yet, maybe just replace the whole thing. And by the way, you see this is not the original that came with the car. So what happened was I had replaced this here headlight assembly, oh, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And this, of course, this is what it came with. So aftermarket, I guess you get what you pay for, huh? But now, as you can see, guys, we have it on, but it's intermittent, right? So if I move it, flexing, right? And then if I could just tap it.
Magic.
Well, wait a minute. There we go.
Oh.
So I think the way to fix this is I can install an automatic thumper on the side of the socket here, and let every once in a while, if it goes out, I can just have a little plunger, thump it. Alright, after careful thought, I think I'm going to scrap the automatic thumper idea.
Thank goodness.
Since I couldn't find nothing on the market. And I didn't feel like designing one. Now, for the newcomers out there, I hope you guys know I'm just joking about that. Anytime when you see a burnt terminal like that, then it's time to just go ahead and, you know, either change the terminal or just change the whole connector. It's just easier. In fact, you can even get it. So I went and got a connector. Actually, I got 2 connectors. This here, I went down to Napa. You can see the part number on there. It's right up in here. Just for any of you guys that run into this problem. They have a low temperature version connector and a high temperature version. So I asked the lady, I said, high temperature, I said, what is that all about? She said, well, that's like if you change your bulbs and you have these aftermarkets in there, you know, maybe for more high intensity, more current, not sure. Even though this here is standard bulbs, I'm going to go with a high temperature version. And also you can see that you get 2 connectors, right? So I'll have a spare. The single, the low temperature version, there was only a single connector in it. So this here is like 12 bucks, okay? Also, while I was down there, a lady called Jennifer, she waited on me, very nice lady, and I told her I was going to do a YouTube video on this, and she said, well, be sure to tell everybody hi out there in the YouTube world, you know, for me. And I said, I'll be sure to do that. So there you go, Jennifer. There's a holler out for you.
Shout out to Jennifer.
Shout out to Jennifer. Hey, thanks again, Jennifer, for waiting on me. All right, so let's get ready. Let's get installed. Let's get this here connector on here. One other thing, guys, and I forgot about it. I'm gonna mention it right now. Although the bulb was good, I'm gonna put a new headlight bulb assembly in here, right? And the reason is that with this amount of heat that was exposed onto that terminal that's inside the connector, well, the same thing is up here on that terminal on the old one. Like I said, when I would do something, I want to do it one time. I don't want to see this again for a good while. So anytime you really got some heat exposed from one side to the other, and this is very cheap insurance. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to replace this bulb assembly also. Okay. And the number on that is, you can see, just for you guys out there, this is also from Napa. Again, thanks Jennifer for all your help. I'm just showing you the one on the left is the one that's on the car right now. The one on the right is from Napa. So you can see they are pretty much the same, except we don't have this here lock keeper here on this one. And you can see that the wire colors are also different. Okay. Alright, so what I've done just to make sure I don't lose my mind is this is the one for the old car. So I can be sure, you know, I'm going to match the colors up. Okay, there we go. Okay, now the wife, she had a question, just as in the last clip there, she had a question. She said, what do you mean the colors are different? How are you going to match it up? Okay, this is the way the orientation of this connector is, which matches this one like that, right? Now you see over here on this side on the car, this wire is yellow, right? But if I look over here, see, this wire is black. Right. But that means this black wire is going to go to that yellow. Okay, this wire that's in the middle, see, which is brown on the car, is going to connect to the yellow on the connector on this new one. Okay. And then you see this one on the right, which is white on the car, well, it's going to match up to the blue that's on this connector. Does that make sense? Okay. Alrighty. Now, of course, you know, the battery's out, so I am just going to go and whack them jokers right off. Wow. I'm going to use some wire strippers here. And for the, I'm going to be using butt splices. It says about 5/16 of an inch, you know, to strip the wire. That's all you need? That's all you need. Remember that commercial? Brio cream? Just a dab. A little dab will do you. Oh, all right. Done an inch. No, 5/16. That is what the instructions on the box says for the butt splices. Now the butt splices I'm using is going to have an adhesive in it. Okay, so it'll seal. Keep it keep the environment from outside to, you know, getting inside to these here connections. Oh, and I'm going to cut a little bit of this here wire off of this pigtail. I don't know. That'd probably give me enough there, I think. So I'm just going to whack them off right there. Again, about 5/16 of an inch. You want to do one? No, let's go ahead. Come on now. Don't be scared. You can do it. Alright, so now we have those stripped. Now just so you guys can see what I'm using, I am going to use these here butt splices. As I mentioned, they have an adhesive built in. You'll heat, you know, you'll crimp them onto the wire, then we'll come back with a heat gun. We'll shrink it and that will melt the adhesive. That'll flow around on the outside here, so that'll seal it from the environment. These here is 22 gauge to 18 gauge for wire, and that looks like that's going to take care of us. And this is made by Raychem, which is also bought out by Tyco Electronics. And by the way, that is the company that I work for. There's a shout out for Tyco Electronics. How about that? Woohoo! Okay. Now let me explain to you about why this 5/16 of an inch is pretty critical. Not a lot of even electricians don't know this. Now I'm going to put the wire inside the butt splice. Now watch. I'm going to bottom it out. Now do you see that there is a little bit of the wire, see, that's exposed? In other words, the insulation is not touching the metal barrel that's inside the heat shrink tubing there. The reason for that is that you don't want the insulation butting up next to the barrel, which is metal, and then as the current is going through here, then what's going to happen is you're going to heat up the insulation, and then it's going to start to melt. That's why you always have a little bit of wire exposed, not butting up to the to a metal. So just a little tip for you guys out there. Okay. Now for this application of crimping these on, you could use other crimpers, but this is a tool that's designed for these here butt splices. Okay, you can see that we have our 22 to 18 gauge, we have a 16 to 14 and 12 to 10. Of course 22 to 18 applies to us. This is a Raychem tool, a D-1522. But like I said, you can use other tools out there. So we're going to put them on there, put them right up to the end, and then when we go down, we crimp. It's an automatic ratchet, so you have to go all the way down before it'll release, and then you know that we have it crimped like it should be. Okay? So this is a factory tool to actually crimp these here butt splices. Alright, the wife had a question. She said, now where did you crimp this at? Okay, again, we have a little bit of the wire exposed, and where I'm crimping it is right there. All of this inside here is the metal barrel. So I'm going right to the very end, right there like that.
Gotcha.
See it? And that's where I'm crimping it at. Okay? And I'm going to do the other one. You don't need to see me doing another one. I think you got it now. Now, as you can see, we have the other side crimped down. And now, what we're going to do is I'm going to use this here hot air gun. You can use a match or lighter if you don't have one of these. Just a lot more convenient and puts out a lot higher heat. So we're going to just go ahead and shrink these jokers down.
Oh, that's hot.
Oh yeah. There she goes. Yep.
Shrink wrap.
Okay.
Smells like pizza.
Yep. And that's all it takes. And as you can see, we have shrinked it down. The adhesive, it melted down, so the adhesive comes out here on the end, and it seals this in, and it seals this in. So this makes a permanent connection, as I said, from the environment, so it'll protect the connections in there. Okay, let's let that cool for a little bit. Meanwhile, we can take a little break. But for you guys, it will be instantaneous. All right. Okay, let's take out the new bulb. Now I've got gloves on just inadvertently if I touch the bulb with my hands if they were bare. But even still with my gloves, I'm going to try not to touch the bulb. The better you don't touch that bulb, the better off you are. I'm going to use some super grease, and I'm going to coat this here O-ring, give it a little lubricant, kind of make this thing slide down a little bit easier without making a mess.
Now, why don't you want to touch the bulb?
Well, the bulb is a halogen bulb. If memory serves me right, this thing will burn about 800 degrees. It's got a tungsten filament in it, right, 2 of them. Very high temperature. So, but when you touch it, you have oil in your fingers, and that oil gets deposited on the envelope of the bulb here, on the outside of the glass.
Okay.
And with those high temperatures, basically over time, what will happen is that oil will actually make that envelope crack. So it'll shorten the life of the bulb.
Gotcha.
Okay? All right. Now let's put our collar on here. And see if we can find the notches to line this thing up in there. If I remember, I think that thing was like that, and it looks like it went in, and turn it, yep, and it locked it in. Then let's take this, contact look really good on that, and snap it in, take out the little wires, tuck them out of the way. Yeah, I like it. He likes it.
Good.
Okay. Let's put our little cover back on. let me get this thing back off. Okay. Now let's try to put them on there. What is holding me off? Okay. Slide a little bail over. Slide this bail over. Let's plug them up. Okay. All right. I think for right now I'm gonna put the battery back in. I'm not gonna tie it down. I'm just gonna put the connections on and let's do a check. Let's see how this thing will work. I got the battery cables back on, but I haven't put the cover around it. I haven't strapped it down. I'm just gonna do a test now. All right. So I'm going to the car. Let's do a test. Let's see what she does.
Okay. Yep.
Looking good?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to turn on the headlights. Alright, that's the high beam. That's the low beam. High, low.
Okay.
High, low. Okay?
Yep. Looks good.
Alrighty. Okay. Alright guys. No, I'm not going to say nothing about how hot it is. I did enough bitching in the last few videos on that. But I want to say this. Now, you know everything I know about changing out a connector on a headlight. So it's pretty simple job. So
yeah, I think I could do that.
I think you could do that. Absolutely. Next time you can do it. And I'll film you on it.
Okay.
So it's pretty cut and dry, guys. You saw where I had the cover off around the battery and the strap, and then these two covers here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this video up, and I'm going to put all this stuff back together. I think you guys can figure that one out. All right, until the next one, you guys take care, and we'll see you down the road here. Josie!